Come see us in Los Angeles, Bakersfield, San Jose, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Ohio, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Belfast, London, and a lot more. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for the cheapest tickets.
Let's do some breaking news, Jimmy. The Grayzone just got a hold of some audio of an AIPAC leader boasting that they have serious influence over members of the Trump administration. Let's watch this clip. I haven't even heard it yet, but the Grayzone just put this out, so this is some breaking news.
Lobby the executive, but as we were talking about, there was a discussion earlier about Congress being representative to the people. Well, the White House has to be responsive to Congress, and so it's working with, at the time, our friends on the Democratic side of the aisle to apply pressure the way that they know how to an administration, as it will be with this administration. Bob was talking about the people who will get appointed into some of these jobs. Look at the top level, you talk about Marco Rubio and Stefanik, and Michael Waltz. Those three people have something in common. They all serve in Congress. They all have relationships with key AIPAC leaders from their communities. So the lines of communication are good. Should there be something questionable or curious that we need access on the conversation to? You never know. One of the first candidates I ever met with as an AIPAC professional when my job was to meet with candidates for Congress was a guy named John Ratcliffe. He was challenging a longtime incumbent member of Congress in Dallas. This guy looks like he could win the race. When we go talk to him, he had a good understanding of the issues. And a couple of weeks ago, he took the oath as the CIA Director, for crying out loud. I think this is the guy that they had a chance to speak to. So there are a lot, I won't call them lifelines, but there are lifelines.
So that's the CEO of AIPAC bragging.
So can you yeah, go ahead. I just wanted you to check because I couldn't really hear it
okay.
enough. So
that's the CEO of AIPAC. That's the CEO of AIPAC bragging that he has special access to several Trump administration officials. He mentions in particular Marco Rubio, Mike Waltz, and John Ratcliffe. And he says that these are, he says, I wouldn't call them lifelines, but they are lifelines. That's people he can call if he wants special access. That's him bragging in leaked audio that was just obtained by the Grayzone.
Wow. How did the Grayzone get their hands on that? Is that a secret?
I don't know. I just saw this as we were talking about this issue, and it was good timing.
I look forward to that being released as I look forward to Ryan Grimm releasing that as his own and and pretending that he broke the story, because that's kind of what he does all the time.
Me too. All right. Well, we can get. Yeah.
So go ahead. So now? I mean, that just confirms everything we all thought. What do you think that's really going to be big news in America? Probably not, because the news media doesn't ever. So what do you think there's going to be any impact from this, or?
Well, no, and why? Because this is bipartisan. For all the access that AIPAC has in the Trump administration, they have the exact same access in the Biden administration, or if Kamala Harris had won in the Kamala Harris administration. It's totally bipartisan. So no, I don't think this will have any impact.
So Aaron, what is the strange control that AIPAC has on our government? If they spend less money lobbying than Japan and China, which I don't know, I can't speak to the veracity of that claim, but why does such a tiny country have such a stranglehold on our legislators?
It's a great question. Israel is a proxy, so Israel does things for the U.S. It basically helps the U.S. keep control of the Middle East. When the U.S. wants to do something that looks too bad, like funnel nuclear secrets to apartheid South Africa or armed death squads in Central America, Israel does its dirty work for it. There's also a heavy evangelical component here. The evangelical Christian community, people like Mike Huckabee, who really believe that basically there will be a rapture one day. Having this proxy in Palestine, in the birthplace of Jesus, is seen as an advancement of that goal. And yeah, you have this powerful lobby, AIPAC, that can buy off people in Congress and decide who controls Congress, as they showed in the most recent election when they spent millions of dollars to oust Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush. So it's a factor of imperialism, special interests like evangelicals, groups like AIPAC, and also I just think fidelity to another a European colonial state like we are.
And
It's all those
so
things.
and so now AIPAC does not have to register under FARA, which is the Foreign Agent Registration Act, right?
Correct.
And when I was in this interview yesterday, I brought that up, and he said that yeah, the reason why they don't have to register is because they're American citizens. And I'm like, no, that's not true, because they got Paul Manafort, Trump's original campaign manager, and they put him in jail because he was lobbying on behalf of a foreign government, and he didn't declare himself. He didn't register with the FARA Act, and that's what they got him for. So even if they're all Americans, it doesn't matter if you're an American citizen or not. If you're lobbying our government on behalf of a foreign government, you're by law supposed to register under the FARA Act, correct?
Correct. And this is just another reason why Russiagate was just so pathetic, is because while Democrats were hyperventilating about mythical Russian interference, Russian meddling in our pristine democracy, they're all on board with this foreign apartheid state, constantly meddling in our democracy, literally buying off members of Congress, meddling in elections, and having unregistered foreign lobbyists acting with free will, with free reign. And did Rachel Maddow ever cover this on her show? Did any of these blue and non-Democrats ever raise a peep about it? No, they're all on board with it.
You know who did cover it? To my surprise, shock and awe, actually, was Ali Veshi covered this. Did you ever see that segment he did about the AIPAC's influence?
I didn't, but he's not bad on Palestine. And of course, he did that only recently, right? Like this is probably after, after October 7th. I don't imagine during the Russiagate era, he was not putting that on MSNBC.
No,
I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
But I was shocked that he was allowed to do that at all. That was because they're getting rid of anybody who challenges Israel's power or anything, right? We've seen they got rid of all those people.
They got rid of a lot of them, but also they have to respond to the fact that the majority of the Democratic base, the actual voters, are turning away from Israel. And so I guess they need someone on MSNBC who can speak to their concerns so they don't totally lose that audience as well. My experience, now I travel the country. I just went out to, I was in Hartford, Connecticut. I was in Syracuse, New York. I was in Albany, Cohoes, Atlantic City, Long Island, Providence, Rhode Island. And I meet a lot of MAGA voters. They come to our show, and we have all kinds. We have hippies, we have MAGA, we have all types of people, libertarian. And none of those people are on board for Israel. None of them. I mean, is it just the people who watch my show? Or it seems like even when I was at the Rescue the Republic rally, which a lot of people said that was a Trump rally, I didn't. I looked at it as a free speech rally. And I gave a big shout out to you have to support the free speech of Palestinian protesters in the United States. And they cheered. The audience there cheered. And I saw people who were MAGA holding up signs saying, pro-Palestine protesters, things like that. What's your experience? Do you think that MAGA is, I know a lot of them are, but do you think it's the majority, or can you gauge? Yeah, that's my experience too, meeting everyday MAGA voters, people like who I've gotten to meet and be acquainted with because I challenge Russiagate. Yeah, they're not on board with this. They don't want to see their tax dollars going to slaughtering children in Gaza. They don't feel any affinity with this foreign apartheid state. So it's the party elite and the people on Fox News. Yeah, there's a certain level of Islamophobia that I find, like they just don't like Muslims.
Yes,
but that to me is not. I don't encounter that like when I meet everyday MAGA voters. I do encounter that when I meet some MAGA politicians. They just have this distrust of.
Because they're all in the pocket of AIPAC. That's why they're paid to be that way.
Yeah,
and so the politicians, but the grassroots, they're not. I can't believe that they're allowing Trump to be such a tool of such a small country like AIPAC. It's just, of Israel. It's just it's shocking to me. It really is.
And we're going to cover some of this today. We're going to get into how Trump is just going against so many of the promises he made to his base and talking about cutting the Pentagon, abandoning endless wars. We're going to get into that today about how he's abandoning those promises just one after one.
One of the biggest MAGA Congress people is Marjorie Taylor Greene. And when Trump, Tulsi, Waltz, J.D. Vance, when they were all celebrating the illegal, the war crime of blowing up an apartment building to get one person, she tweeted out, "No one voted for this."
Yeah.
And the reason why she's allowed to do that is because she's one of the few people in Congress who doesn't take AIPAC money. So there's a direct correlation between taking AIPAC money and being pro-Israel and pro-Benjamin Netanyahu and anti-Muslim and anti-Palestine. And the people who don't take AIPAC money, which is the MAGA voters, they're not on board for this. So I just don't understand what the fuck is in it for Trump to do. I mean, I know he took $100 million from Miriam Adelson. I get that, but he's not running again. So why not just, if Obama could betray his voting base, why can't Trump? Why Obama completely abandoned his voting base?
Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did.
He backed Wall Street over Occupy Wall Street. He backed the big pharma and health insurance companies over the public option. And then he went and did Libya and he did Syria. I mean, all that he extended the Afghanistan war. He repealed habeas corpus. I mean, there wasn't a goddamn. Every move Barack Obama made was a betrayal of his base. So why doesn't Trump what is in it? Have you ever questioned? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, of course I thought about it. I just don't know the answer. I don't know what's in his head. I don't know what his calculation is. He did get $100 million from Miriam Adelson. That's a lot of money. And I just don't think, look, same thing with Obama. Obama used to speak to Edward Said, Rashid Khalidi, like these major Palestinian figures. He knew the truth. He knew exactly what was up. But once he got into office, he's faced with this choice. Like, do I actually take a stand here and end this? Because he could if he wanted to. The U.S. government's so instrumental to Israel's occupation. It could make the difference. But Obama decided it just wasn't worth it, And he's probably thinking about not just his donors, but also just being called an anti-Semite, all the ways they discredit you. Like, look at what they do to Tucker Carlson. As Tucker Carlson's been increasingly critical of Israel during the Gaza genocide, they've tried to destroy his career, including people inside the Trump camp. Trump's former ambassador, David Freeman, recently called him an anti-Semite. Same thing as they're doing to Candace Owens. So people think about the reputational cost, the professional cost, and they all just decide it's not worth it.
Okay. I mean, I saw, are you going to cover this, the protest by the Hasidic Jews at the White House yesterday?
I didn't get that. No.
Oh, shit. I wish I would have sent it to you. So there was a big protest. I saw it on Twitter, a video of Hasidic Jews that were protesting outside the White House against Trump's Gaza policy, because did he just again reiterate his plan to send in U.S. soldiers to ethnically cleanse Gaza of Palestinians? Did that not happen?
Yeah, well, that's I'm sorry I missed that protest, because there is a component of Orthodox Jews who just don't believe that Israel represents their vision of Judaism. And,
they look at it as a blaspheme.
They do. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And of course, they get viciously attacked by fellow Jews because
yes.
Yeah.
Hey, the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a whole new movement toward better habits, led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device, not a vape. No nicotine. It's not addictive. No batteries. You'll never need to charge it. No smoke, no vapor, no restrictions. You can use it anywhere. Flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. Fume has lots of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint and orange vanilla. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. Go to tryfume.com/Jimmy Dore or scan the QR code and use code Jimmy Dore to get your free fume topper when you order your journey pack today. Come see us in Los Angeles, Bakersfield, San Jose, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Ohio, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Belfast, London, and a lot more. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for the cheapest tickets.